Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Let's go through few more practice questions for AZ-900 Microsoft certification. So what benefit does Azure Scale Sets provide when it comes to virtual machines in Azure? So scale sets basically are groups of virtual machines and they are managed as a single unit. And you can set rules for scaling up or scaling down, right? So going by that, the one which fits in is the option number D. That is, you can manage groups of virtual machines as one unit. And to study more on this, like you should know what are virtual machine scale sets, why use virtual machine scale sets, right? So please go through this article, okay? You should be aware of these things, okay? A lot of questions can come from these points, okay? I'll leave the link in the description of the video. Okay. Second question is for industries that work with highly sensitive data, such as banking, finance, government, and healthcare, Dash Cloud may be their best cloud option. So this comes from Azure site, and if you come here on this page, what is a hybrid cloud, right? And here, if you go slightly down, for industries that work with highly sensitive data such as banking, finance, government, and healthcare, using a hybrid cloud model may be their best option. So this is the answer, right? Hybrid. All resources types support tags in Azure. No. Answer is no, and this can be found here. When you go here, use tags to organize your Azure resources and management hierarchy. This comes under Azure Resource Manager and Management. Go slightly down. Here you have limitations. The following limitations apply to tags. Not all resource types support tags. To determine if you can apply a tag to a resource type, see tag support for Azure resources. So yeah, the answer is no. And do study every point on this article. I'll leave the link in the description. What are the security benefits of storing data in the Azure cloud? Okay, so option 2 is the correct answer here. Users have full control over their data, right? Unless if you don't have full control over data, then what's the point, right? Using the cloud. So basically, Azure gives users complete control over all data used by their applications, and there's no authority given on the Azure side to access this data. Okay, and because of this, it's necessary for users themselves to manage data using storage and databases. Users can use the security functions provided by the cloud. Okay, and if you see option 1 and 3, these are incorrect. There's no permission given to Azure personnel to access data directly from the Azure side. So you cannot, this is wrong. And option 4 is also incorrect. Users are required to implement measures such as data encryption themselves. Okay, and if you want to go through more on this, just study this. What are the Azure management areas? You have this monitor, configure, govern, secure, right? Everything over here. So just go through this and try to understand what's in the Azure management areas, right? How does they help on cloud side? Okay. So yeah, second one is the answer. Then your company can use Dash to automatically add a watermark to documents contain credit card information. Okay, so the answer to this is option number C, Azure Information Protection. Now, Azure Information Protection can discover, classify, and protect documents and emails by applying labels to content. Okay, let us go through that. You have what is Azure Information Protection, right? So here it provides the encryption service, right? And basically it has these capabilities, and the first one is sensitivity labels. So here, by applying a sensitivity label, you can basically apply the watermark. So here if you see, you can use sensitivity labels to Provide protection settings that include encryption and content markings. For example, apply a confidential label to a document or email and the label encrypts the content, applies a confidential watermark. Okay, so this is where your sensitivity labels come into picture. Okay, and that is using the Azure Information Protection. So that's why the answer is C. Okay, when computing and processing demand increases beyond an on-premises data center's capabilities, businesses can easily use the Dash cloud to instantly scale capacity up or down to handle excess capacity, private or public. So answer, you might have guessed it already, it's public, right? And it's very prominently given here. So if you come here again, what is a hybrid cloud, right? Hybrid cloud, sometimes called a cloud hybrid, is a computing environment that combines an on-premises data center with the public cloud, allowing data and application to be shared between them, right? So yeah. Okay, question number 7. You want to deploy multiple virtual machines using ARM templates. In doing so, it is necessary to keep credentials such as usernames and passwords securely outside of the template. Please select the service that best suits this requirement. Okay, so yes, option 1 is the correct answer, as the name implies, Azure Key Vault. Okay, now Azure Key Vault is a service that allows you to securely store secret information such as credentials like usernames and passwords and tightly control access to them. Okay, and to study more on this, again go back to this Azure site. You have about Azure Key Vault, and here you can study, like, this is one of several key management solutions in Azure and helps solve the following problems like secrets management, key management, certificate management. All three of them is handled by Azure Key Vault. So do study this, it is a important concept for the exam. Okay, so what feature of a system makes it elastic? Okay, so let's go to Azure site. What is elastic computing or cloud elasticity? So elastic computing is the ability to quickly expand or decrease computer processing memory and storage resources to meet changing demands without worrying about capacity planning and engineering for peak usage. So going by that, the option number B, the ability to increase and reduce capacity based on actual demand. That is the answer. Okay. Ninth is, what type of container is used to collect log and metric data from various Azure resources? Okay. So again, I'll take you back to Azure site. Here, if you see, it's clearly written, when you collect logs and data, the information is stored in a workspace. A workspace has a unique workspace ID and resource ID. The workspace name must be unique for a given resource group. After you have created a workspace, configure data sources and solutions to store their data there. You need a log analytics workspace if you collect data from Azure resources in your subscription. So the answer is log analytics workspace. Okay. Now, 10th is, you can create your own policies if built-in Azure policy is not sufficient to your needs. Yes, answer is true. And you can create custom policies using JSON format. So if you come here, you have what is Azure policy. Do understand this first. What is Azure policy? And then here, if you see, Azure policy evaluates resources and actions in Azure by comparing the properties of those resources to business rules. These business rules described in JSON format are known as policy definitions. And if you click on this JSON format, you can know that Azure policy definition structure basics. Okay, you use JSON to create a policy definition that contain elements for display name, description, mode, metadata, parameters, policy, rule. Okay, so this is how your policy is written and then evaluated. Okay, so please go through this. Okay, I'll leave all the links in the description. Okay. So 11th is, your organization is thinking about moving to the Azure cloud. They would like to compare the cost of using the cloud with their on-premises data center. Which tool do you recommend? So the answer is, if you would have guessed it, TCO calculator. And for this, just go here, total cost of ownership TCO calculator. Estimate the cost savings you can realize by migrating your workloads to Azure. So first is define your workloads, then you adjust your assumptions, and then you view the report. So define your workloads over here, add server workload, databases, storage, networking, and then next, you can adjust the assumptions, and then finally you estimate the cost savings you can realize by migrating your workloads to Azure. Okay. After migrating to the cloud, your organization would like to replace their on-premises file service with a cloud service. So basically, your on-premises file service has to be replaced with a cloud file service. And then which service should you suggest? So the answer is Azure Files. And you can go through more on this. So what is Azure Files? Why Azure Files is useful? Key benefits, training. Okay, so go through all this. Azure Files offer fully managed file shares in the cloud that are accessible via the industry standard server message block protocol and NFS protocol and Azure Files REST API. Okay, so please go through all these content like why Azure Files is useful, what is Azure Files, okay, then architecture of this, and anything can come in exam, so please go through all these. Okay, you can use dash to set up budget and alerts based on that. So the Azure cost and billing tool is used to analyze and understand the costs of your resources, and it can also be used to set up budgets and alerts based on those budgets. Okay, so the answer is Microsoft billing. And we can go more on this over here. What is Microsoft billing, right? And billing is where you can manage your accounts, invoices, and payments, right? Billing is available to anyone with access to a billing account or billing scope like billing profiles, invoice sections. And here, if you see few examples of what you can do in billing include monitor costs proactively with budgets and scheduled alerts. Okay, so that is what the answer is. Then you create a resource group named resource 1 in Azure Resource Manager. What settings are required to prevent accidental deletion and overwriting of resources in resource 1? So if you come here, you have this article lock your resources to protect your infrastructure. And here you can set locks that prevent either deletions or modifications. In the portal, these locks are called delete and read only. In the command line, these locks are called cannot delete and read only. So cannot delete means authorized users can read and modify a resource, but they can't delete it. And read only means authorized users can read a source, but they cannot delete or update it. Okay, so we want this one. It cannot delete or it cannot modify. So first one is the answer, read only. Okay. Then last question is what Azure resource allows you to evenly split traffic coming in and direct it to several identical virtual machines to do the work and respond to the request. Okay. So the answer to this, first let us go through load balancing options. So here since they have mentioned like evenly split traffic, that is what load balancing option do. Like the term load balancing refers to the distribution of workloads across multiple computing resources. Load balancing aims to optimize resource use, maximize throughput, minimize response time, and avoid overloading any single resource, right? And you have various options to do that, like Azure load balancing services. If you come here, you have Azure Front Door. If you have Traffic Manager, you have Application Gateway and Load Balancer. So of these, if you see Load Balancer or Application Gateway, these two are mentioned in that article. So that is the answer. Go through all other notes also in this article. Okay. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for your time and we will see you in next video.